do you think there's something totally new to be invented in jiu-jitsu still? Not totally new, but like flying isn't new,
Right.
but airplanes nevertheless made that much more efficient. Is there like new ideas
I
to
would
be discovered in jiu-jitsu still?
I'd say the reason I'd say yes is the same reason I would say I believe in alchemy, even though I don't. No, I'm serious. Like
Yeah.
I've
All
got
right.
some
That's
backing for this.
okay.
I guess I talk about this with a buddy of mine a lot, facilitative versus not facilitative beliefs. And if I don't believe something is possible and I do no investigation towards it, I'll never find something even if it's there. It's almost like it's no different than me walking up on a group of people and going like, "Oh man, look at these jerks. This is going to suck," versus me going, "Oh, I wonder what these guys are up to." I'm about to have two very different conversations even though the players in the game are no different. My internal constitution has changed because of how I've decided to approach the situation. So although I wouldn't personally want to spend all my time trying to turn lead into gold because I don't believe that it's likely to work, only a person who's willing to spend his or her life in that pursuit will actually get to the bottom of that. And also in the pursuit of that, they're likely to find other things. So I think a lot of times the idea is that humanity is pushed forward by, again, it's another Orson Scott Card one. It's like, human beings are in this slog. I'm paraphrasing, just in this slog over time. And then periodically humanity gives birth to genius, like someone that invents the wheel, invents electricity, pushes us forward, comes up with the idea of governance that doesn't, just start and end with the point of a sword, these aren't common things. These are unbelievable advancements that, just me sitting here, I didn't come up with them, but I just get the benefit of it. So I guess what I would say is a lot of times these ideas are called crazy, like as we discussed on kind of offline, it's like, Einstein was brilliant in his 20s and it was brilliant before that, I would suspect, but basically, gets recognized later on in life. And of course, we all thought those were great ideas. The man was probably roundly mocked for giant chunks of his life.
Yeah.
And I guess so it's neat I would say there's definitely in my mind things that, even if it's just combinations and new to me, new ways to see things, new ways to understand, different depth of understanding, possibly new things, new positions, new ideas. Because even if that's not true, the process of going through and acting as if it is and believing like that and focusing and trying to investigate will make any of us, will push us all forward. Whereas sitting there, obsessing over the cult of our current knowledge, I think is the biggest danger and the biggest cause of stagnation that exists anywhere.
Yeah, and it starts with believing the impossible, which is kind of interesting. One of the things that's really inspiring to me is to see people out there, which sadly are rare, who kind of have a combination of two things. One is they have a worldview that includes a lot of ideas that are crazy, and the second part is they're exceptionally focused and competent in bringing that whatever the ideas in that worldview to reality. So there's certainly a lot of people with crazy ideas. There's a lot of conspiracy theorists. They have way out there beliefs about things, but they're not doing much to build stuff grounded in, like they're not engineers or whatever. They're just like espousing different crazy ideas. But that's why you get like the Elon Musk type characters. And the reason I bring him up a lot is because like there's not many others to bring up. It's like there's not many examples of it through history. The guy's convinced that we're going to colonize Mars. And basically everybody on Earth thinks that's insane.
Everyone except the guy that's going to do it, right?
Except that's going to do it. And like you can imagine like a couple hundred years from now, people will, first of all, they certainly won't remember the haters. They won't remember all the people. If they do remember them, they'll remember them in a sense like people were silly to think that this isn't the obvious path forward. Like from a perspective, that's what Elon talks about. Like it's obvious that we're going to expand throughout the universe. Like so
From his perspective.
Right. Like, but to me, it is also obvious because like either we destroy ourselves or we'll expand beyond Earth. There's not many, it's not completely obvious. I guess I share that worldview. There's the other possibility that we humans find a sort of an inner peace where the forces of capitalism will calm down and we'll all just meditate and do yoga and jiu-jitsu and like relax with this whole tech thing
Hmm.
where we keep building new technologies. But it's cool to have those kinds of people that just believe the big, ambitious, crazy dreams. Because that's where it starts. If you want to build something special, you have to first believe that.
When you also have to believe strongly enough that you're not vulnerable, and I'm speculating, but it's like I can only imagine how many people have told Elon that what he's doing is crazy. So not only did he dream it up, he dreamed it up, went with it, and also went with it in the face of being told that it's not going to work. And then anytime, and then also stepped away from the bitterness because he's done a series of really crazy, impressive things. And that's only those little things that I'm aware of. But and also staying away from the bitterness of every single time you did something good. Initially, all I do is talk down about you, and then eventually I act as of course, I never apologize.
Yeah.
And yet you don't let that dampen your spirits for the next innovation, which is pretty incredible to me to watch.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, it's contagious to spend time with the guy because he's not. Rogan has the same look to him, which is interesting about these people. Is like there's like a hater shield that he's like he doesn't even like sense them. It feels like it doesn't. He thinks to Elon, it's like it's obvious. I mean, he keeps calling it like first principles thinking. Like physics says it's true, therefore it's true. Like he has convinced himself that like his beliefs are grounded in the fundamental fabric of the way the universe works. Therefore, the haters don't matter.
Right.
And I mean, that's kind of like a system of thought. He developed himself through all the difficulty, through all the doubt. He's able to take huge risks with basically putting everything he owes on the line multiple times throughout his life, amidst all the drama, amidst all the doubts, amidst all like he's still able to make just clear-headed decisions. I don't know what to make of it, but it's inspiring as hell.
Well, I think it's something that's funny. I think like I can only imagine that history will look back on him as a brilliant person, but that's not the only. There's a lot of maybe not not statistically speaking, but a lot numerically on a giant planet of billions of people, a lot of brilliant people. Well, time, place, luck, fortune, all that other stuff. But at the same time, that clearly isn't the only determining thing in making Elon Musk Elon Musk. And obviously I don't know the guy from Adam, but it's an interesting thing that it's not just his intellect, his belief system, his structure, how he's viewing the world. Like that's, did he reason his way to that? Did he not? What other factors came in? I'm really curious about that because I guess it's again, I feel really strongly about people's belief structure and how they view the world being more important than the engine behind it. It makes someone resilient or not. It makes someone positive or not, because you could have 10,000. I think about this for competitive stuff. You could have 10,000 things going properly and one thing going improperly. If you focus on the improper, you'll probably fix it at a certain point, which is good, facilitated for development in the long term. But if you had to go and try to perform a task in the next 5 minutes, and you're focusing on the negative, your confidence and your belief in the positive outcome of the future is likely to be damaged. Whereas you could have 25 things going wrong, but you go, man, I sure am happy to be alive. How fortunate I am. This is great. I have problems to solve. This is awesome. Versus list the problems and I start bitching about them. Both of them are technically accurate, but it's, I guess, different lenses. And I think that's a really neat thing to see, someone, exemplifying that for us.